Lord, lunatic, or liar? C.S. Lewis said, based on the claims that Jesus made, he would be one of those three. However, was he a Muslim? Now that is what Godlogic and Dr Nasser decided to debate on Brian DeVilla's The Way YouTube channel. If you're into apologetics, you must have seen this debate. It was an absolute masterclass by Avery. But what can we take away from this debate? That is what we're going to be dissecting today, to be able to take these points and use them in our own conversations whilst defending the Christian faith. Let's jump into it. Godlogic starts off the debate by simply asking him, what is a Muslim? Now he goes off on a massive rant, and we're going to pick up the video here where the host says, wait, can we get back on topic? That's going to be a common theme throughout this video, as you will notice.
So therefore, of those two options, it makes a lot more sense to embrace the Muslim.
Just to keep the conversation like kind of concise, he asks like, what is a Muslim? Can you define that?
So there's linguistically, a Muslim is one who submits to God Almighty.
Okay.
Now, of course, you could say that Islam as a religion would be the religion of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. So I understand that there is we can get into that in a moment. Is that what you want to clarify?
Yeah, basically, because when, like what you just said, you said that you would define a Muslim as one who submits their will to God, but there's a lot of people who believe they submit their will to God, and you would say they're not Muslim.
Correct.
So when you say a Muslim is one who submits their will to God, you're talking about a specific God. You have a specific ideology of God. You can't bow to a statue and and be a Muslim. You can't bow to your mother and think that your mom is God and be a Muslim. I can't bow to Jesus, believe he's God, and I'm a Muslim.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's important for us to clarify what you mean by God when you say a Muslim is one who submits to God. That's specifically the God of Islam, the God of the Quran and the Hadith.
The all-powerful creator of the universe.
And here's point number one for us to take home when we are engaging in these conversations and we have a specific topic that we're talking about. Say, was Jesus a Muslim? Was Jesus God? Was Jesus this? Was Jesus that? We stick to the question. We do not move. We stick to the question. Do not let yourselves be deceived by fancy words or elegant ways of speaking. So, we start off with defining our terms. What is a Muslim? Everyone seems to go for the same definition, which is a Muslim is anyone who submits their will to God. That's not specific enough. Reason being, if you're new to the debate world, is if you do not define your terms, for example, this is what a straight line is, you will not be able to find out what a crooked line is. So we find out what is a Muslim, believe in the Quran, believe in Allah, believe in Muhammad, and the teachings must align with that. Well, so when we have the definitions locked in, we then move to the good stuff, which is the Word of God. One example that they talk about is when Jesus says, Father, would you take this cup from me? Your will, not my will, be done. This is a very common passage that Muslims use to try to prove that Jesus is not God, that Jesus is a Muslim, etc., etc. But remember, the topic is Jesus a Muslim? Would that theology be aligned with what Muslims teach nowadays? The answer is no. And this is the point that Godlogic is trying to make. Jesus says Father, Quran says no Father. Let's watch.
A Muslim, you're Dr. Nasser, Muslim. Is there any sense in which the term father or meaning of father can be applied to Allah?
Good.
Yes or no?
Got it. Now, let's say I'm walking in the middle of, I don't know, some new forest, okay? And I come across a tribe of people. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how they use certain terms. I know how I use it. Mm-hmm. And they tell me that God is a rock or a father or something else. Anything that does not comply with the names of Allah. Instead of me telling them just that, no, I know exactly how you mean it because I know what's in your head. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say, look, I know what I mean. Father is a word that has a meaning. It means that you're giving birth to somebody based on passing on your nature. It means that you have sexual or reproductive organs. So believe me, I reject all that. God does not have any sort of reproductive organs where he's having babies, okay? I reject all of that. Now, if they are the ones, not me, if they are the ones that want to clarify, we don't actually think of God as a literal father making actual babies in that sense, I'll say you can go ahead and clarify what you mean. And the moment they use a definition that is in line with the names of God, I will let them know those are names of God in Islam.
Okay.
Why is that complicated?
All right. So the descriptions that you use, the meaning of father, let's say they use father in the sense of creator, sustainer. So you can affirm like, oh yeah, that's good. These are descriptions of Allah.
Yes.
So then can you then apply that and say, yeah, Allah, you are the father in the sense that you are my creator and sustainer?
So And since I don't use those terms because I'm not from that culture, I will say, guys, I understand your words. I don't need to adopt your language.
That's not what I asked. I didn't ask if you need to adopt it. I asked, as a Muslim, can you be a Muslim and affirm that Allah is your father?
Godlogic is amazing at doing this. He sticks to the topic. He presses the question again and again and again. You can see that Dr. Nasser likes to do this long-winded explanation, but remember, like I said, do not be deceived by elegant words. Answer the question.
As a creator, if you are using this term to strictly define God as a creator and sustainer, I will let them know I fully agree with those names while I'm not interested in your terminology.
Okay, so I'm being very clear.
But that was not good enough?
No, it wasn't. Because I'm not asking what
Could you give a yes or no answer?
Yes.
I will not use
Even Brian DeVilla is like, bro, can you just say yes or no so we can move on?
that term, and once it's explained, I will affirm which parts of the explanation I affirm. And in terms of the literal wording, I am not interested in adopting your language.
Yeah, that's
no.
Yes, what's wrong with that?
I'm just trying to move the conversation forward. I'm just trying to.
So it's a no. It's a no. You cannot be a Muslim and affirm that Allah is your father, even in a sense that he's your creator and sustainer. Correct?
What?
You just said you can't do it.
You know, you just shifted. You just said.
All right, we get the point. No, you cannot use the word father. And as much as he tries to shuffle around and dodge the definitions, this and that, literal, metaphorical, blah, 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 the answer is no. Jesus teaching you to come to God as a son and him being your father is a theological point. It's a theological issue. Islam contradicts that. So if the theology that Jesus teaches contradicts the Quran, there's something wrong. Later in the debate, Godlogic is discussing the parable of the wicked tenants. So this is from Matthew 21:33-46. Remember these verses. Here another parable. There was a master of a house who planted a vineyard and put a fence around it and dug a winepress in it and built a tower and leased it to tenants and went into another country. When the season for fruit drew near, he sent his servants to the tenants to get his fruit. This is talking about his prophets, God's prophets. The master of the house being the father. And the tenants took his servants, the tenants being the Jewish people at the time, and beat them, killed another, and stoned another. Again, he sent other servants more than the first, and they did the same to them. Finally, he sent his son to them, saying, they will respect my son. But when the tenants saw the son, they said to themselves, this is the heir. Come, let us kill him and have his inheritance. And they took him and threw him out of the vineyard and killed him. When therefore the owner of the vineyard comes, what will he do to those tenants? They said to him, put those wretches to a miserable death and let out the vineyard to other tenants who give him the fruits in their season. So clearly here we see that Jesus is distinguishing himself, firstly, from the master being his father, secondly, from his servants being the prophets, and him describing himself as the heir, describing himself as unique in this parable.
The heir of God and the one who inherits what God owns. Is that a Muslim prophet?
No, definitely not.
Thank you. You just affirmed Jesus is not a Muslim in the Bible.
No, so yeah, exactly right. That I already conceded that a long time ago. I already conceded there are plenty of biblical passages that I completely don't understand and don't know how to reconcile whatsoever.
So there you go. The answer is no.
Yeah, like I said, him, you guys say that he becomes a curse. All right, this is no, I definitely don't agree with the Bible. So my point is this. There are other passages, for example, like Luke 2:52, right? Jesus is growing in wisdom, right?
What does that have to do with him being a Muslim?
Because men...
Mic drop. Let's listen to this. This is important. If there's anything you need to get out of this debate and this video, stick to the question, please.
Grow in wisdom. And so so let me explain. The Muslim version of Jesus is that he's a man. He's a prophet and he's growing in wisdom. Do you think that this passage is referring to Jesus as just a man, or do you assert that this is talking about Jesus, the hypostatic union, both fully man, fully God?
It's talking in regards to his humanity for sure.
So there you go. So here's my question. Let me follow up.
We're not talking about whether or not Jesus is God.
Let me ask you.
Jesus could be just a mere man and not be a Muslim.
My question is this.
How does this prove he's a Muslim?
Let me explain. How many passages would you say in the Bible are strictly affirming his humanity?
There's a bunch.
There's a bunch.
Yeah.
So would you say those are all Muslim versions of Jesus?
No.
As a man?
No.
Are they Christian versions?
Yes.
Yes.
Because he's just a man?
No,
Christian?
number one,
Does that set you to go in and out when you feel like it?
number one, it doesn't say that he's just a man. It affirms his humanity. It never says that he's just a man. That's number one.
Is he a God or not?
Number two, notice what you're doing here. Notice the shift. Now you're trying to shift to the deity of Christ when that's not the subject. Let me, for the sake of this imaginary world, let's say Jesus is not God for the sake of this conversation.
Smart move.
Prove he's a Muslim.
Because he submitted himself to one God as a prophet,
Which God?
the creator of the universe.
Who did he say that was?
I believe the term he used was it Adonai?
No, he didn't use that.
What's the term that he used in the Bible?
He used Abba.
No, not
You know,
always.
did he use Abba?
Hear, O Israel, the Lord thy God is one God. How do you say it?
Well, hold on a second.
This makes me this makes me so happy. You can see on the host's face, Dr. Nasser is just is done. It's finished. He is finished. When you are engaging in these conversations, do what Avery just did. If the Muslim keeps bringing up that Jesus is not God, fine, hands up. Fine, he's not. That doesn't make him a Muslim. That does not make him a Muslim. His theology contradicts that of Islam. Simple. So there are many things that we can learn from this debate, but the most important one is stick to the question at hand. And the question at hand here is, was Jesus a Muslim? Based on the definition of what a Muslim is, and when you compare it to what Jesus Christ taught, there is a clear disconnect. It does not matter if he is God, a prophet, if he is literally the Son of God or not. The fact that he teaches theology that contradicts the Quran, game over. Next time someone says Jesus is a Muslim, you can say, my guy. You could say he was Lord, you could say he's lunatic, you could say he's a liar, but the last thing he was is a Muslim. If you enjoyed the video, please do be sure to hit the like, subscribe button, as we'll be covering many more debates like this. And if there's a debate you want me to cover for us to digest and break down, please do be sure to let me know down below, and I'll do my best to make a video. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you next time.